We're going live to Caracas once more in Venezuela, where the Electoral Chamber of the Supreme Court of Justice is holding the second day of hearings with the former electoral candidates that took part in the July 28th elections in the country. And this process is part of the investigations into this precise electoral process. Let's recall that for the second consecutive day, the Supreme Court of Justice is receiving former presidential candidates. In this case, the Supreme Court of Justice received Timoteo Zambrano before the Electoral Court of the Supreme Court of Justice. At this moment, we can say that earlier today, the Supreme Court President Carislia Rodriguez received the representative of the Popular Will Party, José Noriega, who was required to appear before the judges on Thursday morning. During his statements, José Noriega said, "We bring all the information that a digital Popular Will and I have gathered. We are here to strengthen transparency, to give the country confidence in these presidential elections and to ensure that Venezuela address the issues it's facing at this moment." Last week, the Supreme Court officially summoned the 10 presidential candidates and the representatives of political parties to present all the electoral materials they have in their possession, a process that started on Wednesday at the request of President Nicolás Maduro. At this moment, we can see the President of the Supreme Court of Justice is making an entrance in the courtroom to receive the former candidate and also the representatives of his party. And in this context, let's highlight that Edmundo González, who was a candidate for the Democratic Unity Platform from the ultra-right wing of the country, did not appear at the hearing in the Supreme Court of Justice Electoral Chamber yesterday, where he was expected to present the voting records from the presidential elections held on July 28th, thus disobeying an explicit mandate from the Supreme Court of Justice. Let's recall that in the elections on July 28th, the candidate of the Great Patriotic Poll, Nicolás Maduro, was re-elected as president of Venezuela for the 2025-2031 term. The far-right politician Edmundo González proclaimed himself after the release of the results given by the National Electoral Commission of the country. He proclaimed himself as Venezuelan president. Edmundo González registered also for the elections and put up election witnesses. However, since before the electoral process took place in the country, and after realizing they would not win the elections, they choose to promote violence and also to make calls of widespread fraud without evidence in order to starting a civil war in the country. Let's recall he did not attend a previous summons from the Supreme Court. This is not the first time he's not attending to an official summon. Instead, his party did not recognize the election results. That's what they decided, and also decided to attempt to usurp the authority of the National Electoral Council, promoting violent actions on July 29th and July 30th, right after the release of the results of the July 28th elections. Let's recall that we are at this moment seeing images of Venezuela, Caracas, and all the support that the President Nicolás Maduro is receiving. We can see citizens enjoying, having a great time, showing their support, and also the peace of the country. We were live to Caracas, Venezuela, where the Electoral Chamber of the Supreme Court of Justice is holding hearings with the former electoral candidates of the July 28th elections as part of the judicial investigations into the electoral process, an inquiry requested by re-elected President Nicolás Maduro. This is all for the moment. Stay tuned with From the South.